Hey guys, this is Eric Weingartner with Weingartner Racing. It's Saturday, so it's like an update video day. What's going on in the shop and stuff. For those who are new to the channel, if you went back in time, I used to race on Fridays or test and tune on Fridays, and I do update videos on Saturdays, but I just haven't had much time to race. If you kind of watch the channel, you understand. So usually on Saturdays now, what I've been doing is just kind of update what's happening in the shop, but it's more than that. You get nuggets of knowledge that don't get spread in the other videos as often. But this one may sound more like ranting than the other ones do, but there is some technical content, but it's not that heavy. So to start off with, I want to thank all my subscribers that have subscribed to the channel and my members too. And I know I've been pushing for channel membership, and the biggest reason why is it helps fund the dyno testing. But all of you, whether you're a member or not, subscribers and everything, really have helped through this to come together. Because I haven't said this enough, but a lot of that, besides just a channel membership, a lot of the testing has happened because of actual channel subscribers. Just to give you an idea, so we're going to talk about this. This is the Edelbrock Street Ram manifold. I didn't purchase this. A subscriber sent this in for me to test. So he had actually bought this on Marketplace and sent it in and said, why don't you test this? You see this one? This is a Holley Pro Dominator. Another channel member, not member, but subscriber. He also, same thing. He's like, I got this manifold. Do you want to see about testing it? Absolutely. So, and then if you go back and you look at the very first small block Chevy dyno mule testing, several of those intake manifolds that were tested were only tested because channel subscribers sent those in. If it hadn't been for either the subscribers or the members, a lot of the testing hadn't happened. And I'm pushing for the membership really because none of this testing is cheap. And I don't want to sound like I've got a big head here, but I feel like I'm end up becoming the R&D for many companies. So no company is writing me a check. So I know on several of the other channels, like you take Engine Masters, I'm fairly certain they're getting a check from Holley each month. I'm getting no checks from AFR. I'm getting no checks from ProMax. The only thing I'm lucky if I get is just some products. And just to give you an idea, on the small block, this is the only thing that got sent in. AFR sent in a set of cylinder heads and 3 intake manifolds. Urson sent in a cam. Besides that, that's the only thing from the companies that was sent in. Besides, ProMax also sent in 2 sets of heads. One that was CNC ported, which I've already tested, I haven't seen on the channel yet, and their ass cast ones. So I'm not getting checks from them. So I feel like I really legitimately am the R&D for a lot of those because I don't think that they do that. And I know it makes it sound like I've got a big head. I just don't think it. For instance, I'm fairly certain now if someone calls in AFR and says, hey, I've got your AFR Enforcer heads. What intake could work with that? Well, shit, I think I've tested just about every one. I could probably answer that if it's on a 406. Anyway, point to all of that is, without your help, none of that would take place. And now R&D always gets put back into it. And I know you think, well, if you're only a channel member, the only one that gets to see it. Wrong. Everybody gets to see it. I put it in videos. It just takes longer. So, like, for instance, I'm going to develop it better before it goes out. On a channel member, I just text them what the dyno graphs look like. And then they're like, here, or what the numbers were when it was dynoing. It's more raw, so it's not as polished as what you guys would see, which you're like, this is polished? I know. I'm just not good at videotaping and stuff like that. But anyway, that's all on the things. Let's get to some of the stuff that's happening in the shop. So, to these. Here are 3 manifolds. These are all tunnel rams. I wanted to show you these real quick. This is the street ram that was tested already. Great piece. But like I said, someone else has sent this in. This was completely stock, unmodified as far as the inside. Holley Pro Dominator tunnel ram for a small block Chevy. I'm going to try this on the dyno on the small block Chevy. Chances are it probably won't happen until after the new year. And the reason for it is so busy with different things. I'm going to really try not to dyno in December just because I don't have time. I thought about going to PRI, but it's legitimately $2,000 when it's all said and done. By the time I get the hotel room, the flight, it's $2,000. And do I actually make any money from that? No, but it's kind of cool, I guess. You get to walk around and stuff. My hope at one point was that some company that I might have done work for, R&D for, or something would be like, hey, why don't you come out there, we'll put you in the booth and you could talk. That's never going to happen, I don't think, in my lifetime. At least not currently. But anyway, so I'm not going to PRI. But because December is usually when PRI happens, things are so busy anyway, just from family stuff, I think it's probably best I just get caught up on work and not so much on that. But I think in January, hopefully by then, the rotating assembly will eventually show up for the LS engine. We'll be doing that dyno testing, and then I could test these. because I do plan to test the LS with that Holley Pro Ram. You know, the LS has their own little tunnel ram deal. We can see how it compares to the small block stuff. And I kind of want to do it. Now, this Alki Digger one's here really just to show you. I really would love to test this on the Dyno Mule. Would love to. But this one is for a very patient customer who's been waiting for a very long time. This one was actually going on a set of Headhunters, which is a really weird deal. They raised up 23-degree runner head. But Alki Digger, or not Alki Digger, but M&M, who sells them for Alki Digger, can make them at different heights. So this one can go on my Headhunter head without, for a small block Chevy, without having to have spacer plates, which is like, oh, heaven. Now this one, as you can kind of tell from the top, is an internally top. Now I still have to port it. Hoping to get that done this week. But he asked, can you port it, can you flow it with the hat on? That's going to be a great test. So in other words, you picture a bug catcher, and I'm going to open it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if it flows different on this runner versus this runner. And the reason why I'm doing that is to see if the air coming in through the bug catcher affects how things flow here versus here versus here. You get the idea. I'm probably not going to do all four because it takes too long. Probably this one and this one, the two extremes. But I think that'll be a really cool test. However, I really do wish I had one of these that was made for the 23-degree standard port heads that I could test against, and then I could test all three on my Mule. Now, the Mule currently has the CNC ported heads on it that I designed for Pro Max. So it'd be great to test these to see what would happen. Who knows, it might happen. So anyway, that's that. That'll be cool later up thing. As far as what video is coming tomorrow's video, I've kind of decided it's going to be on spacers. So if you remember in Dyno Session 5, I tested a ton of spacers. I'm going to tell you, so far, in my opinion, only one of them has worked on every combination we've ever put it on one. And I mean, both small block, when it was making little power, to big power, and also on the big block. And I'm going to tell you which ones don't work, and also which ones are a waste of money. But I got the results, the dyno results, to kind of share that with you. As far as everything else going on in the shop, I want to show you this too. So last night, I squirreled it. And I'm like, oh, I want to mess with this, you know. My mind kind of wanders. This is a set of DN9s. These are for my own. A customer may end up buying these, but I don't know. But these I'm going to port and send off to get digitized. And the reason for that is, yes, I could hand port them. I just ain't got the time. Because it's a lot of grinding. A lot of grinding. Because you're going from that to that, and I'm still not even close. I'm as close as Joe Biden is to a good economy. That's how far away I still am from this thing. So, and I hadn't even started the short port. But these are going to get sent off to get digitized eventually, and then also CNC ported so that the head can get finished. You might say, well, what was your plans for this anyway? Well, I will probably eventually market these to sell to customers, but I just don't think, in large part, that's just not my marketplace for it. Really, it's just doing to save me time. But I will probably sell them, and it really probably be a good head. Probably one of the cheapest DN9 heads you could probably get that's makes pretty good power. But that's so far away. Truly, it's just, I did it to save me time. But anyway, that's what I was working on last night. I still have so much other stuff. I just got done at 7 o'clock, and I was like, I'm just going to spend a few hours. My son's not home yet. We'll try that. Anyway, as far as other things go, this is the S10's underneath the Jegs car wrap here, or car cover. The only reason why the truck's underneath this is because I washed it, you know, for that car show, and I was like, yeah, I don't want it to get too dirty. So I put the cover on it just to kind of keep it that way. Last week, I took my son and I said, you need to learn how to drive this thing because it's got the power glide, but you have to shift it manually. Here's him driving it. Look at old Hot Rod. As cool as that is, right after he got done doing it, because he was driving it like a grandma. And I think he was just afraid he's going to hurt it or something. But so I was like, switch seats. So then we went around, we did a little burnout. And I did a burnout in the street. And then when I got done doing it, it started making it look a little whine. I told you that transmission I'm kind of worried about, and I'm even more worried now. So I'm kind of got to take it to the track. Anyway, drove it back. But I did eventually order the FTI Turbo 400 transmissions. They're a 4.5 version. It's going to be power glide length. It should be in here in about a month. I had a converter sent off to Chance. The new cross member came in because the Turbo 400 is longer than the power glide. I got the new yoke because it's a different diameter. Hopefully I don't have to cut that down. And then that's going in. Do I think I'll be racing this at all this year? Chances are, because chances are not. It just isn't going to happen because we're only a few weeks from November. And if you live in Oklahoma, you realize it goes hot and then it just goes cold. So the chances of this making it back out is pretty slim. But hopefully I'll have it ready for the beginning of the year. I tried last year and it didn't work worth a damn. I still need to bring in the Camaro and actually get to work on it as well. It just really hasn't happened. There's too much other stuff going on. Speaking of which, since you watched, I'm going to give you 2 little nuggets of knowledge or cool things to listen to. This is one. Hopefully, which I'm fairly confident that we're going to have this happen, I'll be going up to Manhattan, Kansas to dyno a different engine with Dominic. Dominic was the one that was with he owns the short block for that 496. And what he wants to do, and I hope I'm not stealing too much of his thunder, but I'll give him plenty of credit. I'm just really just going there to kind of view and help out as much as I can. But if you had watched if you had read any of the old Hot Rod magazines, and you'd have to go back probably in the 90s, there was this one article and it had rat versus mouse. And what they had done was they had taken a 396 big block Chevy, and they put a set of sports or world heads on it, and then they did a 406 and they put Sportsman 2 heads on it, dynoed both combinations, and then they put them in a car and raced to see which one was faster. Because, you know, the small block made less power by a little, but it weighed less. Well, the big block was still faster in the car. So Dominic actually had a 396 that he's kind of pieced together and a 406 that he's kind of pieced together. And we're going to go up hopefully this week and we're going to do that. I'm going to let Dominic talk more about it, but it'd be kind of a neat deal. As far as what happened with the 496, well, I left the 290 heads on it. And here's a plan. And I got this other engine all bagged up, but so you can't see it. But here's something we're kind of thinking, just kind of. He wants to try to put 1.8 rockers on it, so he's going to dyno it exactly like it is on his dyno. Feels like I got Parkinson's and the camera shaking so much, my arms are just getting tired. He's got his dyno that he uses up there, so he's going to re-dyno it on that dyno up there, and then maybe put 1.8 rockers on it with the hydraulic roller cam that's in there, see what power it might make as far as picking up. Then this comes into play, which you can't see under this, and I know I should have been lazy and unwrapped the thing, but I promised to do a video on this anyway. This was the 477 that I used for Engine Masters, and it's all in the bag, and I'm sorry that it doesn't do very good on the film. But inside here is the solid roller camshaft that I had used for the Engine Masters. Now, it was a 249 duration on intake and 261 on exhaust. It had 774 lift with the 1.7 rocker ratio, 107 lobe separation. I'm going to pull that solid roller cam out because now this is going to become a blower engine anyway, so that cam ain't going to be used. Pulling that cam out, and we're going to go shove it in that 496, change springs, and re-dyno and see what it does. Because I actually think this cam's probably going to be the one to be the magic ticket. Because the one he currently has is like a 243, 247, 630 lift, hydraulic roller. So I think when we switch to this, it's really going to pump it up. Here's the other thing about it though. Even though I told you those specs, this cam was ground for a 904 diameter lifter. And here's your little nugget of knowledge. When you do a 904 lifter, you end up with a bigger wheel, so it actually adds duration to the camshaft. But if you tell them that whenever you grind the camshaft, which I did, they take that into account whenever they're grinding the lobe, so it actually gets that 249. They actually make the lobe smaller. So what I'm gonna do is before I think I send it up to him or before we put it in, I'm gonna put it on a cam doctor, see what it is. Because he's not running a 904 lifter, he's running an 842. So I'm gonna put it on a cam doctor and see what it is, and then put it into his. So it actually, even though it says 249, that's with the 904 lifter. So with a 842, it's probably gonna be like a 247. So it's gonna be a few degrees less on the duration. So, but I still think with the tighter lobe separation, the more lift, a little bit more duration, it's probably gonna get more out of it. Since you wanna know I promise I give nuggets of knowledge and stuff for free, here's this. Both of the head combinations made over 700 horsepower. One made 725 and one made 720. Please put in the guesses in that one video which one you thought made more. Also put which one you thought made more torque down low. We started the pulls about 3,800, and then we went to 6,500. There was no valve float issues. That was taken care of by changing the spring pressures. So that was fixed. But anyway, put in the comments what you thought of it. There's pretty much what's going on. Hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Look for the models with the spacers. Guys, remember, I'm no Superman. I don't pour cast iron, and thanks for watching. Take care.